Hey, what's up, everybody? John the Morgile here, checking in for the first Saturday morning Morgile in quite a long time. Hey, hope you guys are doing very well. And I'm only going to go as long as 275 megabytes of data allows me to go because the Wi-Fi is so poor at the hotel here, or at least the room that I'm in. It's just not feasible to do any sort of live stream, any sort of VoIP internet stuff. So, good morning, you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. It really is just a beautiful Saturday morning here in the Kansas greater area. Um, it's wow, probably what 72 degrees. The Just beautiful, man. Not a cloud in the sky. Sunny and chilly. That's what I really like. Wow, 7 people in here already. What's up, guys? If you can, if you guys can hear me, okay, please let me know in the chat. What's up, Amazon Bob? How you doing? Jordan Hacham, watch that vid later, brother. All right. How you guys doing today? Long time no see. Man, I have had one hell of a month, dude. I've been doing, that's sort of the default response is someone asks you how you doing. You're like, oh, I'm doing fine. But really, what you should be saying is, yeah, it's the worst damn month I've ever had in my life. So the reason I haven't really been posting much is because my phone was stolen, last month on the 26th, 25th, and that that really prevents me from doing any sort of live stream. My computer was jacked before then, like months before then, and worst of all, man, my guitar and my amp were jacked on October 31st on Halloween, All Hallows Eve, if you will. What's up, Doughboy? Hey, man, how about it, brother? So yeah, All Hallows Eve. I do not, babes. Do you have a lighter on you? Okay. So on Halloween evening, I was put my guitar out front of the room to just jam a little bit, like I always do. Pretty much every day, I would do that, and I went outside for a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most, to I don't know, do something. And I came back outside, and the guitar and the amp were just gone, man. Um, and I saw something in the chat there. Amazing weather. Yeah, I am. What's up? I am. Yeah, it's just awesome today, man. Love it. Love it. Jordan Hackcom says apparently Trump running a sting operation now. A sting operation? Wow. What are they going to do? Like, they're going to sting purple? Like orange kills purple or something? I don't know. But so what the hell was I talking about? Yeah, so the guitar, man, like, you know, I was just talking to someone about this the other day, but my room, like the hotel that I'm staying at, just things come up missing all the time. Like whether I'm home and have maybe a couple of friends over, a couple friends over, and then they bring a couple of acquaintances, and the next thing um, things just start coming up missing, and everything from let's see, everything from shaving cream and deodorant to laptop computers and hats and pretty much everything in between. I mean, they stole my toothpaste and my toothbrush. They stole now my guitar. There's all kinds of things, but the point is, though, out of all that time, they never messed with my guitar, man. Never. They never touched it. I don't know if that was a respect thing or I don't know. Is there honor among thieves? I don't know. I'm not a thief, but they never messed with it, and so I felt. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say lackadaisical, but I felt comfortable with setting my guitar outside. I mean, there were times when I would just sit out there and jam all day long, all into the evening, and I never had any issue with going inside for sometimes 30 minutes or an hour, come back out, and it would be just sitting right where I left it, because there's a lot of people there, a lot of neighbors, and so furthermore, the the owner of the hotel has a camera pointed down the hallway that's sort of flanks right by my door, and so you would think it would be no problem for them to just roll back the tape. I know exactly what time it happened, or at least a span of 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and we were really upset to find that he was not going to tell us. He's like, you have to file a police report. And I know that's probably what a responsible adult should be, but every locale is different, man. And where I'm at now, I call it gangsta's paradise, really, because it is. It's a unique little town where I'm at in central Kansas, but I'm not gonna give out any hot tips so that you stalkish people can find me. No, I'm kidding. I'll totally, no, totally not gonna do it. Thanks, yes, for all the great tubing and for sticking to Art Bell. Haha. Yes, thank you, man. I appreciate that tinfoil. You know, it doesn't make any sense. I see a room as it does for a big giant room, but hey, go figure. So the best thing that happened when we first started staying there is through the doggone and the toilet just won't budge, man. It's just not doing crap, and so you know, the hotel owner lets me borrow his snake. I try snaking it down, and of course, the snake's like a 3 foot long toilet snake, so it doesn't do much good to get the main drain of the plumbing cleared out. So that actually stayed getting worse and worse in terms of the bathtub and the toilet, and finally, they had it fixed. Fast forward 3 days, rinse and repeat. It happened again. And of course, the hotel owner, they pride themselves at this hotel, they pride themselves on, well, absolutely nothing. There's no, there's no sort of amenities. There's no sort of, there's no pool. There's no, I don't know. It's just, it's not exactly the best hotel I've ever stayed at, right? And so it's difficult to try to pay money towards a place that is not exactly appearing to have your best interests at heart. However, home is where you hang your hat, as they always say. And, you got to make do with what you got until things get better. Now, I want to show you if I could possibly see anything here. The sun is so bright in the reflection on this phone. Let's see here. Tinfoil Hatter says, disregard any disturbances you can. They hate that, I heard. Yeah. And Tinfoil Hatter says, la, 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 la. Yeah, no kidding. Live it up, laugh it up while you can. Be nice to each other, or at least be nice to me. Damn right, Tinfoil Hatter, I like that. But man, it's like I really didn't like the entire town. The hotel itself at first. So like on the East Coast, it's a different culture altogether compared to the central U.S. One thing that I definitely noticed is that business customer service is not high on the priority list. And especially when it comes to hotels, look, man, the tub is filled with human feces and urine. Maybe we should do something about this as a priority. He actually, and I had been in this particular room for about a week. He actually blamed it on me. He said, well, this room never flooded until John moved in here. Yeah. And he's flushing his toilet paper down the toilet. I swear to God, this dude said that we can't flush our toilet paper down the commode. We have to throw it in the trash can. If you can believe that. That's actually what he said. He literally tried to blame the plumbing on me. And it is I don't know, at least a 60 cast iron main drain, right? And over time it becomes super brittle and it'll just be cracks in it and it'll just be falling apart. And of course, it's my fault that the plumbing got messed up in about a week. So anyway, so it looks like we've got several of you guys piled in, people still joining into the live room. So I'll read through. Yeah, I am. I'm exhausted. It's just been a emotionally draining experience. And I'll get into some more details about it on, because I want to just maybe I'll take a poll from you guys out there and talk about what y'all want to talk about for a few minutes. And by the way, it seems like that this hotel Wi-Fi is doing pretty good handling the upstream. I jinxed it, man. As soon as I said that, of course, I get a hiccup in the upstream. So yeah, man, you tell me. Y'all let me know what you want me to touch on briefly this morning, and I do have some around to do because hopefully not too much running around to do because I just got my phone back yesterday, so I haven't been able to get in touch with anybody. In fact, the only telephone number I remember by heart was my mom's, and the hotel room doesn't have a phone either. Doesn't even have a phone line that works. So I went out and bought a phone for the wall, and it didn't work. Man. So again, y'all tell me what you would like to talk about, and I'll just go ahead and continue ranting and venting about this god-awful, crappy-ass month that I've had. especially with the cherry on top of being uh, going to jail and having basically everything stolen, including. Oh, I'm doing a live stream, so I'm live streaming right now. I'm being rude. Hi, this is say hi to Tiffany one and Nina. Say hi. That's Tiffany. So yeah, man. Y'all put in the comments what you would like to discuss briefly today, and I will try to cover some of the things that y'all want. But so let's get right back to it. Like I had, let's just say that I had really good salad on deck weeks ago, and literally while I was sleeping, man, like somehow or another, somebody got into my room. I assume, and I'm sure it wasn't a ghost or like some like animal creature, right? So it was a person got into my room and got like a couple of ounces of salad, bro. Like, and that's just and that was the third time that happened. So like, the first time to go get like Slurpees or coffee or something, came back 15 minutes later, and all of my salad and vinaigrette was gone. I like literally cried, like physically, literally cried. I mean, there was like one tear because I'm not like a little girl or something, but yeah, I totally cried. And then the second time, like the person that delivered the salad didn't even get through to my door. So like I guess some person intercepted the package like before it made it. So now this third time I had a successful delivery, and while I was sleeping. So there's really not a whole lot that I can do when they're so diverse and creative when it comes to their tactics, man. They just keep changing it up on me, keeping me on my toes. So the ultimate goal is to get into something a little bit more permanent or more stable than the hotel, and less expensive. I mean, it does have its perks. You get your water and sewer and your cable and power, and internet is all included in the single monthly or single weekly payment rent. Right, it was $200 a week, and for this area, $400 a month is actually pretty normal for like a little 1 or 2 bedroom house. So, $800 a month for what we've got is pretty pricey. But again, it without having a car and without having really much knowledge of the area, because again, we did get sort of stuck here on the way to California. That's how we wound up here, and we just sort of it grew on us, right? Not really, it really did, but it's one of those things where we planned on doing A to B, and we wound up Y to Z, right? So Tinfoil Hatter says, "Frickin' punks. That's what I call acting up. They wouldn't try that crap around here if they got any sense. I'll tell you that." Yeah, I mean, where I grew up, man, it's all about if you've got a group of friends and a support system, it's pretty easy to get through things like that, and you can recover your things and get new things. But when you have precariously dangled yourself out there in an area where you don't have any friends or family or knowledge of the area, it's difficult, man. It's difficult, but you make new friends, man. You make new friends, and sometimes that's a strange saying, isn't it? Make new friends, like poof, I created new friends. Yeah, poof, I created a new friend there. Making new friends, get it? No, I'm retarded. So no, you do. You make new friends, and you end up you cope, man. You do what you can to get through. Oh my God, man. So since Halloween, I have just been like really, I can put it as incomplete. I had been planning on making a video. It's been a passion of mine for my whole life. I really enjoy it, and I want to share that with you guys. And since I pretty much beat like dead horse all of the stationary planar Earth topics that I can think of multiple times, like dead horses. It's time, I think, for me to branch out into other things, and I'll still do the flat Earth videos and the questioning the historical narrative videos, and I'll continue doing whatever I damn well please. And if you like it, watch it. If you don't, then just go away. And the people who watch my videos anymore are just the best, man. You guys are diehard. YouTube, Google, Alphabet has made it really difficult to stay on top of your favorite channels and make sure that you get notified of our videos when they come up. And it's almost as if Google Inc. has done an excellent job of preventing as many people as possible from seeing our videos. And so with that, it's almost like a badge of honor, because it used to be there for a while. I could put up a video and in a couple hours it would have 20,000 hits. not no joke, like 10 or 20,000 hits in a couple hours. Now, I'm lucky if a video gets 1,000 views in a week. You know what I mean? So it's definitely apparent. It's not like some sort of questionable thing, or not some sort of theory that Google, YouTube hates the fucking truth. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Google, YouTube, beep. They hate the freaking truth, man, and they want to suppress, or they try to suppress anything that upsets the apple cart or rocks the boat, so to speak. And so, in that respect, I think that we just have to keep cracking away as we can, keep trying to find new venues other than YouTube to expose this stuff, and so just hit the pavement, man, and deal with people face to face in the real, actual, non-virtual world, right? Because that is where connections are made, and we don't have to rely on sort of cold-hearted machines to make the connection possible between us and the people that we want to tell the truth, tell the truth to. And so, who would have ever thought in a million years, like when you were a kid, did you think that you could exception in the sense that when people are just berating you with insults and attacking you and wishing you physical harm for standing up for what you know to be right, then rejoice, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I gotta say that is so true. I mean, it is 100% promise kept. So I do want to attest to that. I can't necessarily prove it, but in that sort of a realm, it is definitely something that you will notice results on. The Most High Creator of all things, visible and invisible, is all powerful, loving, forgiving, and fair, just, wise, and most importantly, true. And so, as long as we live by that sort of a code and harmonize our positive energies and do what we can to maintain that sort of harmonic balance with the things of nature, then I would say that we sort of we can't go wrong, man. There's nothing that can stop us, and in that regard, standing up for what we know to be right, in spite of all of the negative repercussions that we may face, is probably the best. It's probably the best thing that you can do in this life, man. Because it is real easy to swim with the herd. Swim to school and run with the herd. A lot of times the herd runs right off a cliff, and the ones who are saying, "Wait a minute, stop, stop, stop," they get trampled and pushed over the cliff about thinking for their damn selves, as opposed to just memorizing and regurgitating the nonsense that so-called experts teach them. The better off a place is going to be. And if people are able to consider things like the truth and love and good companionship and those sort of things as a currency, or as heavily as we do currency, man, we'd be in good shape, man. Because honestly, and be honest with yourself, and it's like this with me too. And I hate the Federal Reserve System, but the most important thing, or the most, well, such as myself, is the money, dude. It's the dollar bill. If you don't have it, you're very, very well screwed. Now, there are many of us who are fortunate enough to live on lands where we have cattle and grow our own produce and stuff like that. Wow, I got hit with a dust storm there. Interesting. And so you're very blessed if you have that ability. But like at this point right now, even if I had tomato seeds or like clones or whatever, dank clones, I would. There's no way I could grow anything out here because, frankly, it's a hotel. Damn sure not going to be able to raise any chickens or cattle out here at the hotel. And so this sort of thing is really, I would say, it's a crime against nature, man. It takes us away from our natural equilibrium with nature. And sure, the perks of the modern life are definitely there. However, it would be nice to be able to fall back on something where you can easily self-sustain without having to worry about government interference and violence from the government. So anyway, let me go back through the chat a little bit, and I'm going to read through some of your guys' suggestions of some topics I can cover real quick today, and hopefully we'll find something that suits fancy. I'm sure we will. With all the beautiful minds that we have here, and by beautiful minds I mean you friend schizophrenics. No, I'm kidding. Beautiful minds out there in the chat land, where we'll come up with some good topics. So, okay, Wit Twit says, "How are you feeling, Morgile? You look thin." Yeah, I've lost 30 pounds. Can you believe it or not? I've lost 30 pounds. Um, that was, well, and I lost 30 pounds and then I gained back 10. So I'm down like 20 something pounds, whatever, give or take. So, yeah, indeed. Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. Hopefully that was hopefully that was just an observation rather than an insult. Yeah. Well, and I've got my cheerleading squad here. Yeah, I'm very stressed. Honestly, man, I eat pretty good, and I've been getting pretty good exercise. I eat a lot when I can, but we don't have a. I mean, really, you guys think about this and count yourselves very lucky and blessed to have things like a kitchen, a stove, a refrigerator that fits more than a couple of things. I have a microwave out there. Like, well, whose fault is that, John? Like, you're a real whiny and complaining about the situation that you've created for yourself. But keep in mind, I didn't create the whole COVID nonsense where the common cold is now the most frightening thing in the world. That we need to stop everything in the fucking world for the common dank cold, bro. I mean, I didn't plan that. Look what the media's done with that, man. They have the media and the medical industry, I should say. The medical industry, they basically are. I'm just going to come out and say it. They are whores. They are whores. So you've got monetary incentive for the medical industry whores to basically, scam our tax dollars away from the government by diagnosing COVID just willy nilly, bro. Just willy nilly. So I've talked about it before, but the hospitals who diagnose COVID in a patient and put on a respirator, they get paid. I think it's like 14 grand, just a check from our tax dollars. 14 grand. Okay, if a patient passes away in their care with COVID, they get 44,000 tested. Period. There's been examples where, like, an elderly patient in their 90s is on kidney dialysis and liver failure, and just multiple conditions that are life-threatening, and they will pass on, never been tested for COVID, and the hospital will say, well, we suspect they may have been COVID as a contributing factor to the death, and they get $44,000. Okay, so this is literally a scam. Now, compare this, like, juxtapose this to what we've been dealing with when it comes to the lame duck, empty suit assholes in Capitol Hill, who are bickering back and forth about how much they're going to give us, or how much they're going to give the citizens for the stimulus payment. And of course they're like, well, it might be 1,200, it might be more than that. But of course, how the hospitals of the world are really hurting for cash. Doctors, they're probably the brokest mofos you'll ever meet. Hospital admins, those guys are certainly hurting for meals. They're missing a lot of meals. And so we need to make sure that the hospitals just get gobs and gobs and gobs of free money in order to diagnose and inflate the numbers of common cold cases. Yeah, it's like a manufactured event that is created to further us towards their goal, which is already in play. It's already in plan. And I know this sounds very conspiratorial minded and very paranoid, but I mean, when you study the way that the government and the social engineers, the way that they seed our culture with the things that they want in the future, it becomes really obvious the methods that they use. And so, this whole COVID thing, it is playing towards an end. And one thing that I would say is that it definitely is. You'll not be able to buy or sell save in your palm of your hand or in your head. And so, I mean, what are we doing now with these ridiculous masks that wouldn't protect people from a common cold? Maybe 1% of the time. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're, like, for example, if you're on the city bus and you get on the bus and somebody that has an infectious disease is been sitting there for 20 minutes all over the place, even if they had a mask on and you had a mask on, you're still going to catch it, right? There's no guarantee that the mask isn't going to do anything. You go into the grocery store and, people that are sick have been touching all over everything and, whatever. Masks probably aren't going to do too much. I mean, sure, maybe it'll help you a bit to prevent infection or to prevent yourself from infecting others. But when it comes down to actually, being a preventative measure is just ridiculous. But what it is doing is it's getting people ready for this whole thing where you're going to capitulate to what the government says. Forget about the Bill of Rights, forget about the Constitution, forget about Magna Carta, forget about all of that, forget about all of the natural rights that we have as sovereign human beings. No, we're going to tell you what to do, and you silly are going to do what we say. Otherwise, there's going to be consequences. And what exactly are the consequences, man? And it is, first of all, it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd because, again, we're dealing with the common cold here. This is a sensationalized, hyped up thing in order to get people more dependent and more, groveling towards the government edicts. And frankly, I don't wear the mask unless I'm riding the bus. Even you have to do it. Okay, the van that we had broke down. The transmission went out on it a long time ago, and so I do ride the bus. And if I want to get around anywhere further than a mile or whatever, okay, then I gotta wear that stupid ass mask, man. So about that sort of thing. Well, I think that the television sort of media cycles are to blame for all this, man. It's like people do what is told to them on television. People believe what is told to them on television, and not everybody, not you guys. Okay, no offense here. No present company is excluded. Crap. Let me go get a light for my cigarette. You guys, my cigarette went out. Hang on. Light. So we're gonna start going down this way. Hopefully, I won't drop off the stream too much, but welcome to my humble little abode here. Hey, do you have a light, please? Sorry, guys, I'll be right back on. Wow, here we come. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put the phone down real quick. You guys, like my smoker. All right. Oh wow, do you guys want to see my nude machete? Can you please film me my nude machete? Here, give me. Make sure I get me. Yeah, like it. This was given to me as a gift from a friend. I was given to me freely. And like I said, thank you, baby, I appreciate that. I have made some new ones here in the central side. Central side? I don't know, what is that? What's that? Oh, were you really? Well, here, turn around and I want to show them my machete. I'm going to show everybody my machete.
The dog had me distracted. I turned it around, right?
No, you need to look at the screen.
Okay.
And whatever's in that screen, if you get in the shade, you can see the All right. Can you see me? Okay, so.
No, I only see me.
Oh, wait a minute. You're probably looking at the. Hold on, let me show you.
Get it.
Hold on. Look.
Not doing it.
Wait.
No.
Oh my God. Wait, how can I film? Wait a minute. No, you were doing it right. Amina, hey, come here. Wait, okay, I guess you got it right the first time. Anyway, so here we are, guys. We're gonna get back to our little. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, some real good people out here. Everybody that's in this hotel is clearly struggling. There's some real good people. Business owners that have just lost everything, man. Lost their businesses, lost their asses. Well, they didn't technically lose their asses, but lost their homes, businesses, all that. And I think it brings families closer together. But it's nothing anybody wants to go through losing everything. And so in that regard, it can be a little bit depressing. But at the same time, you form bonds and friendships that just stride, because the Most High Creator of all is very wise, and and so whenever things seem to be very adverse and negative in my life, I tend to try to be grateful and to understand that, or to acknowledge that we don't understand everything, but we don't understand the ways of the Most High. Going off on a side note here, a book that I've been reading a lot, or I've read a few times recently that I'd never read before, is To Ezra. It's an Old Testament book that is sort of stricken from the Bible. So To Ezra, in that this guy Ezra is talking to a high angel, And the angel says to him, or no, he says to the angel, I want to know the ways of the Most High. And the angel says, well, so you want to know the ways of the Most High? Okay, if you can answer any one of these three questions, then I will answer your question. And so, wow, I'm probably going to get this way wrong and butcher it. But so the angel says the three questions, right? And the first one is, what is the weight of a fire? Can you call back a date in the past? So Ezra responds to him. He goes, well, how could I possibly answer any of these things? Like, what do you mean, the weight of a fire? Like, take that one for example. That's a perfect example of the other two questions the dude asked. I think the other two that I said there in that list were just way wrong. It's like, what do you mean? How can I weigh a fire, right? And so the angel replies to him. He says, well, if you can't even answer questions about things that you've lived with your whole life in this realm, in the world that you know, then how do you expect to understand the ways of the Most High, who is incorporeal, that is a physical body, that is just simply wisdom and spirit and love and all these positive sort of energies or whatever? And that, to me, that's a really valid point, right? So there are certain things that are not for us to know, right? As little physical beings who are not the smartest things in the world. I mean, certainly the creator of all things would be smarter than the average person, right? And so some things are just not meant for us to understand. And I think that that's a big thing that I gleaned personally from this whole leap into static planitis, right? Is that we don't have to have answers for everything. I mean, like for example, so we know that the sun and the moon are local. Certainly not 90 million miles away from the sun. Certainly not a 250,000 miles away from the moon. It's just physically not possible. The only reason that those sort of numbers are possible is because the theory of infinite space is 100% reliant upon a spinning ball Earth. So once you realize that the Earth isn't a ball, you realize that the Earth isn't spinning, then it couldn't be a spinning ball, and therefore the whole infinite space hypothesis is thus null and void. And so, I think the big, flat and doesn't move. Like that doesn't really change things much, but when you do realize that infinite space is reliant upon the ball Earth theory to exist, then all of infinite space theory must necessarily be complete hogwash. It's nonsense. So that means strike Star Wars, strike Star Trek, strike Apollo 17, strike anything that has to do with space is frankly, it's bullcrap. Could not possibly exist, right? And so a lot of people will say, well, what is the sun and what is the moon and how far are they? And I would say that the best answer that I can give for that is we don't know. And I'm happy with that. Okay, we don't have to be so arrogant as to think that we can have a complete and total explanation for all things, and that there's never going to be any mystery in the world, or we must solve all the mysteries in the world, rather. That sort of attitude is, it's, I would say, counterproductive, because it'll often lead you towards, trying to solve things that are unsolvable. But it's also just, it's arrogant, and it's also, and I sort of lost my train of thought, but you get what I'm saying, right? Wow. I'm fired. I suck. I'm so fired. No, I'm kidding. Give me 1 second, guys. My cigarette keeps going out. Yeah, I'm fired. So, that's one of the liberating things of becoming a truther, and especially if of having to feed our egos with not with knowledge of the absurd or knowledge of the unknowable. And so, like, scientists will feel as if they are underachieving if they don't have extrapolated estimates out to the umpteenth decimal point for values such as the distance to stars, or the size of planets, or whatever. It's almost as if they would rather make up a wrong answer than to actually really truly fully understand that their ass doesn't live stuck to the side of a spinning ball, right? They'd much rather just believe that and have all their infinite correctness just as part of their id. I mean, it becomes a part of them, I suppose. Wow, those damn scientists. gonna write a song about it. But so yeah, man, that was what I wanted to be doing this weekend, and actually last weekend was putting out some videos or some live streams for you guys, where I would just be doing some more musical stuff with the guitar, and I think you guys would probably enjoy it. I've jammed a little bit for y'all before, but I've been actually playing guitar here in the last couple of months, way more than I have in years, man. Like, I would play when I was going to school growing up. I would play just every damn day, no exceptions, every day, for like 6 hours a day when I got off school. So I'd like rush home, hurry up, do my homework, and then just jam out until I like basically fell asleep with my guitar in my hand. And so I did that right up through college. I went to, as y'all, most of y'all probably already know, but I went to Shenandoah University, which is a conservatory college, and I majored in guitar and minored in guitar as well. Yeah, and when I didn't do that for about a year and a half, and for reasons I didn't finish out the degree, but there's just a few more credits left to do, and I will end up eventually getting it. Anyways, where the hell was I going with that? Wow, it's been one of those days, you guys. But no, so when I moved back to Florida from college, almost immediately I pawned my guitar, dude. And the whole grand plan was to get some salad and flip it and turn it into more salad and such. But what happened was I ended up getting like what we call dirt salad, dirt salad from my friend who can go suck it. Got dirt salad from my friend, and nobody wanted to buy it, man. It was like basically, the croutons were stale and all that nonsense. So nobody wanted it, and so I just sat there and smoked the dirt salad while I cried myself to sleep every night because I pawned my guitar and I didn't have any money as a as a youngin, as a kid with just a shit for brains on his shoulders. Sorry, okay, the self-deprecation is going to stop, and I'm sorry for all you virgin ears out there. I know there will eventually be children listening, so maybe if we can go ahead and beep that out. I don't know. Oh, that's right, I can't edit this because it's live. Haha, silly me. So, all right, here we go. So we're going to read through some more comments, and wow, this screen is getting harder and harder to read. I wish I could take a screenshot of what I'm looking at right now because there's like dust and pollen all over my screen. And well, try again, man. Yeah, seems like it's running pretty good now. So these are old. Let's keep scrolling. Tinfoil Hatter says, sorry, here's to the homeless. You'll get home before you know it. It is written. Yeah, I agree, man. I have faith. I have a lot of faith. Sorry. It's something that where if long as you're expecting miracles and you're thankful for the most value isn't the paper that it's printed on, isn't the ink, isn't the design of the dollar or even the metal of the coin, but it is in fact the faith of the people that their money will be usable for buying and selling things, right? And people have faith, I would say, in the almighty dollar far more than they do in God in many cases. And I think if we're able to change that, it's going to be a very positive thing because frankly, most people don't believe in God, or a great many people just don't believe in God. Many people say they do, but they really don't. They don't have much faith in it. And our faith very much lies in the monetary system, in money. And it is one of those self-fulfilling prophecies where the fact that I think greatly from it. Keep on scrolling down through the chat here, fellas. Tinfoil Hatter, you're active today, buddy. It's good to see you. Wait for the beep or the eardrum buzz. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Maybe it's my nervous voice. I don't know. Okay. So Tinfoil Hatter, and no offense, buddy, I'm gonna skip through. You are just the man on the chat here today, sir. Tinfoil Hatter. Okay, here we go. And I'm not ignoring what you're saying, but I can barely read it. So. All right. Ramasan Stone. Wind, noise, interference. Is it that bad? I mean, I could go inside my generic ass little motel room, but I'm sure you guys would much rather hear the wind and the noise. So, okay, well, I can't really see the screen either, so I will. Do you want me to carry this? Did you carry my tray pass? Okay, good, thank you. We're going to head on inside because it is a bit windy, and hopefully you guys can bear with me as we change the. All right, so we're headed inside. And let's go all the way in here. And the problem is, of course, the internet doesn't work that great here inside. So because I'm around the corner from the Wi-Fi router, it's nearly impossible to get a reliable internet connection here. So going through here, what do we got? All right, tinfoil hatter man, you are just the man in the chat today. The kidney and the stone. What is that? The kidney and the stone. That is one of the best usernames I've ever heard of. The kidney and the stone. Wow. Kudos to that. People stealing your packages, there's shotgun shells you can attach to those that will die the thief. A little bit more than that, they'll also land a brother in jail or prison. Highly, highly illegal in many states. Yes, that's right. Salad is illegal in many states, and so it's crazy, man. Because I would never kill somebody stealing a plant that is, frankly, one of the. So, like, what happened was my social security card was stolen. I think I know who did it. My birth certificate was also stolen from my mother's house. I think I know who did it. Let's just come out and say it. I think it was probably family that did it. And basically, what it seems like they're doing, I've got to continue contacting the IRS and different agencies in order to figure out what exactly is going on with my different accounts. But basically, it appears that I never signed up for my stimulus payment. I didn't file federal taxes last year, so I wouldn't have just gotten my default. And so I would have had to sign up for it, although I didn't. I didn't sign up for it. And so what I believe happened is, somebody has went ahead and set up for the stimulus refund or whatever in my name, using my social security number, using even my debit cards, and I have no way of knowing. So the strangest thing that these people sort of, like, I guess you could say, gang stalk me as well, or not gang stalk, but they do. It's weird, man. I mean, you'd probably say that I'm paranoid and crazy and stupid, like Amina Pachia, my wife, does. But what it is this is the craziest thing, man. I went into the store that I go to all the time yesterday, or no, this is a couple days ago now, and I used the ATM and I used the swipe at the register for a couple of things. And basically got home, fast forward a few hours, and there was a receipt in the bag of it was like tobacco and rolling tubes for the cigarettes. I don't buy packs of cigarettes, they're too expensive, but I will buy the cigarette tubes and tobacco, and I have a little handheld rolling machine. In that bag, there was a receipt for not the amount that I pulled out of the ATM. I was like, I pulled out, so 20, and this that it pulled out 40. And the last four digits of the card was not my last four digits of my card. However, the time was right on the money. It was definitely the right time frame. It prints the time that the ATM was used right there on the receipt. And so it was like 11:48 a.m. that this was swiped for the ATM. And the card, last four digits of the card, I recognized from an old account that I've had for years. So it was either it was some prepaid card, either like a Green Dot card or like a NetSpend card or something. And I recognized the last four digits of the number as something that I would use a lot for like different things over the years. And I can't see it. And so I recognized that, and it became pretty clear that I did this for a while. It's so frustrating, man. Like when somebody has the ability to just completely erase your ability to function in this high-tech world, it is rather creepy. So I was hit with lots of different things at once simultaneously. And that way I can introduce you to some friends. Hey, you guys want to be on my live stream real quick? You want to be on my live stream? Can I film you guys on my live stream real quick? Okay, this is Angel and her babies. Do you want to say all their names? Aren't they pretty cute? Yeah, those are my friends. So anyway, guys, that's like it's a really shitty thing when you are when you are under the thumb of people who just really don't care about you, they'll smile to your face and be friendly to you. I'm not talking about Angel now, of course, but they'll smile to your face, be friendly to your face, and then when it comes to being behind your back, they will just absolutely start digging it in. On Shelter ISO tinfoil hatter. He says, yes, well, necessity is the mother of all acquisition. All right, so Leon Sura says, you on Globebusters again? Yeah, I had actually agreed to do a show with Bob a couple of months ago, and it fell through. I can't even remember the reasons why, but I will be staying in touch with Bob, and yes, I will be doing a Globebusters show in the future. Just can't tell you exactly when. We really need to deal with some personal issues, first. But John Jay says YouTube is dead. And I would say maybe it's not quite dead. Maybe more along the lines of undead. But yeah, YouTube is definitely something. Okay, let me get y'all. All right. So Tinfoil Hatter says I'm a very low key soprano. Well, I'm more of a tenor bass, right? So, all right. Oh, let me open this door back up. I kind of like that breeze. All right. So what do we got, y'all? Wow. We've got War Dude 7806 says we know satellites never existed. Yeah, man. That's something that comes up in conversations a lot. So I've been doing, especially recently, I've been doing more sort of in-person flat smacking, right? And so I try to keep it real basic geometry and physics, right? So no curvature, no axial rotation, no orbital motion, no spinning ball, right? And almost the first thing that people do is like, when you ask them, have you ever measured the Earth for curvature? Do you know how you would go about doing that? Like, do you know what the vertical descent due to geological curvature should be over a given number of miles? And then also, do you know how you measure for acceleration? Have you ever seen any evidence for orbital motion or any acceleration in terms of rotation in orbit? The answer to these is no. There is no evidence for curvature, no evidence for rotational motion. And yet, however, they'll instantly go to things like, well, what about satellites? Huh? What about satellites? How can satellite work if the Earth isn't a spinning ball? Let's measure the damn thing for curvature and motion, and then we'll go from there. Because frankly, unfortunately for NASA, crap, hold on. Wait. Sorry about that. Unfortunately for NASA, man, that was it. Unfortunately for NASA, it's just absurd to let's say you've got the functionality of satellites. So you've got GPS type functionality, radio frequency triangulation, spying techniques, filming from high altitudes, capturing images of the terrain, like all of the things that you can potentially do or you can allegedly do with satellites were already achievable with high altitude weather balloons for just a fraction of the cost, right? It's like, what does it cost to send up a weather balloon? I mean, sure, it ain't cheap for an individual with regular budget, but when you're talking about NASA's budget, it doesn't cost practically nothing to send up 10,000 weather balloons every day with the highest tech equipment on it, right? And so to the notion that somehow the efficient and guys, like, sorry about that, guys. The internet here really does suck. I told you so. So what was I saying? But okay, so like if you look at the specifications of the power supply on the so-called satellites, it's actually less powerful than a damn toaster oven. Or not a toaster oven, a toaster, like a regular old toaster is more powerful than that. And so to assume that you can somehow send RF waves 22,000 miles without completely losing the signal, the radio frequencies waves attenuate into the background radiation of space, or they sort of are absorbed by space and scattered into the nothing burger land. It's absurd to think that they would even attempt to send satellites and send radio frequency transmissions 20,000 miles or whatever. It's absurd. And there's even some satellites that they say are even further than that, like 100,000 miles. But again, it's just like, why would they do that? You've already got arrays of weather balloons that perfectly solve the problems that satellites are supposed to achieve, and yet we're still going to spend $20 billion a year to have the lying Freemasons of NASA pretend to fly around in their lie mobiles and pick up moon rocks and do all sorts of silly things. Okay, so let's see here. What else do we have? Tex Murphy, what's up, brother? He says most unsubbed after you went on a downward spiral and straighted asking for donations weekly. Well, you know what, man? Here's the thing. I don't ask for donations. That is a word that is never going to be spoken unless I'm responding to someone like you on this. I would say contributions. And, the thing is, man, you don't have to watch my videos and you don't have to send any contributions. I'm not going to put a gun to anyone's head and say, well, you're going to send me a contribution or else. I mean, that's not what I do. And so if you don't like it, you know, then go plant a field of strawberries or something. You know what I mean? So I know I'm a total smartass. Tinfoil Hatter says, yes, that would be nice to re-enter the so-called real world. Tinfoil Hatter remembers it. Say hello for us. Yeah, and the real world wasn't all that much what it's cracked up to be. The place where I'm at is more like, let's say, like the Twilight Zone world, but I don't know, it's kind of one of the funnier episodes of the Twilight Zone. I don't know. It is kind of strange. It's a strange place, although I would say it's a beautiful place, and the people here are very interesting and unique. So, oh wow, a mandarin orange. Look at that. Thank you, baby. A mini pachio, everyone. Well, it's good and juicy too. Okay. Oh my god. Don't inhale orange juice directly down your throat or directly into the lung. No fun. Okay, Dan the Waterman. Hey, what's up, Dan the Waterman, bro? Haven't talked to you in a while. I just got my phone back the day before yesterday, or not my phone back. I had to buy another phone. I haven't talked to you in a while, man, so give me a call. You got my number. Dan the Waterman says, many, like himself, still watch, hoping you come back around. I know, man. I am still around. I'm definitely still around, but like I said, my computer was stolen from my room a month or two ago. My cell phone was stolen a couple weeks ago, and so now I'm just kind of inching my baywhack. I'm inching my way back to where I started a couple of months ago when I still had my phone and my computer. So that's sort of the goal I'm going through, and it's really it kind of sucks because I did have a lot of projects that were in progress on that computer that are just lost forever now. However, um, without a computer, I can't do much of the video editing, and I have a process that I do when I make videos, and it works well for me. I mean, if you like my videos, then you know what I mean. If not, then go on something, go somewhere else. Why are you watching a channel that you hate? Um, so it has been a bit of a hurdle. It's been a struggle, but try to keep a positive attitude, take things that come at us in stride, and I'm sure that it's going to work out just fine. I know that it will. It will, right? Oh goodness, it will. No, I know it will. Right, so here we go. Dan the Waterman says, guitar now. Do you know of any Matt songs? Matt Boylan? No. I'm sorry. Music is definitely an abstract thing, and everybody can have their own individual taste when it comes to music. But I love Matt Boylan. Not really. He's kind of a douche. But honestly, I don't even think you could call what he does music, really. And I don't say this sort of thing often. I'm always very gentle when it comes to people's music, especially, or art in general. But Matt, maybe I can give you some guitar lessons one day or something. But I don't know. Yeah. So Keeper Jaden says Globe Earth has no logic in it, just like Bitcoin scam. Yeah, man. Well, I will tell you that my buddies over there at CNN Zetetic News Network, those are awesome. Xavier and Dave, they are just tremendous, phenomenal guys, and they actually gifted me, I think it was 500 units, 500 coins of what's called Theta coin. And when they first got the 500 coins, they were worth like a nickel a piece. So it was like $20 for all 500 of them. And at this point, actually, the last time I checked was a couple weeks ago. That same $20 was worth like I want to say like $90 or like 100 and something bucks. I don't remember. So they went up from a nickel to like 80 cents or something weeks ago. So Theta coin is performing very well, dude. Very well. Unfortunately, I can't get into any of my coin accounts. So can't get into Coinbase, can't get into Theta coin, can't get into any of them because well, I know how I can do it. It's just going to take a lot of steps, but if you lose your what do they call it? It's like the pneumatic keys, pneumatic sequence to recover your account for these Bitcoin accounts or whatever. So like what it is you'll have like a dozen or 16 words that the computer generates when you first set up the account. It's just like random words. It'll be like hopscotch, pudding, dogs, eating. It'll just be a dozen or so random words that you have to write it down or copy and paste it. And if you lose those words, that's like your password. Then you can't get back into your account without jumping through some major hoops. So you keep those. And it seems like every time I set up a new coin account, because I do have Litecoin, I got Bitcoin, and now Theta Coin, and one other. Every time, either the computer where I have everything stored will crash and it wasn't backed up to the cloud, or the piece of paper that I had the pneumatic sequence written down on will just mysteriously grow legs and walk out of my wallet. And you know, is it a scam? These Bitcoin type things? I think it really is. But make tons and tons of money on it pretty quickly. Yeah, you absolutely can. Like Theta Coin, if it goes the way that Bitcoin did, 500 of those, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but Bitcoin went up to $20,000 per Bitcoin a while back. Now, right before that happened, I actually had 2.5 Bitcoin, and I had to sell them off and paid some bills and stuff. And then within 6 months, they were like, I think they were $1,000 or so per Bitcoin. Within 6 months, they shot up to $20,000 per Bitcoin, and I would have had with 2.5 of it would have been like 50 grand. And I felt so freaking stupid. I kicked myself in the face like every day for a month because $2.5 thousand spent on like a month's rent and groceries or whatever, car payment, insurance. And if I'd have just held on for a few months, I would have been 50 grand in air, whatever that is, right? So that would have been the most I've seen in my whole life at one place at one time. So certainly not a rich man, this one, but rich in love and rich in spirit and rich in assholishness. I'm kind of a butthole, but no, just not monetarily. So. All right, so what do we got here? Keeper Yaden. Bitcoin virtual money is a scam. Okay, principal uncertainty says a merhead speaks. I'm sure you meant to say meth head. No, sir, not a meth head. No, don't smoke the stuff. No, yayo, I will mess with some yayo, but they don't have that stuff in Kansas, so it's pretty much just pot, which is you can find some good pot here in Kansas. However, it's highly, highly illegal, so you're not supposed to do illegal things. I would say though, laws are kind of meant to be broken, or rules rather. Dinner roll, they're so good. Dinner orange. Okay. Russell Lucanil says, what does that say? Comorbidity 19. I don't know what that means. Okay. Strange how I made a life from it, says Rufus Hubbins. Strange how you made a life from it. I'm not sure what you made. Okay. Keeper Yaden says, might be BS. Okay, so how's the wife doing at Morgile? Wit, twit. Mina is doing pretty well, man. She's doing pretty well. She's hanging in there. She's a trooper. She's real sweet. She loves me, and she hasn't killed me yet. So I'm doing pretty good. No complaints there. But she is doing okay. Hey, Mina, the subscribers want to know how you're doing. You want to say something? Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but she said thank you guys so much for asking, and she loves you. Keeper Yaden says mask reducing oxygen level. Yeah, honestly, if you don't wear the mask, what I would do is just either get a doctor's note or say you have a doctor's note saying you're not allowed to wear it because it messes up your breathing. How about this? How about I'm not going to wear the mask because I'm a sovereign individual human being. You can't tell me what to do, bro. You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. Whatever. I do what I want. Right? Okay. So Keeper Yaden says, herpes, meh, whatever that means. So you have herpes, dude? That's kind of a brave thing to admit that from so many people. Okay. John J says, where are you? Me? I am in the bottom corner of the 9th pit of hell. It's in Kansas, okay? So go figure. Honestly, John, this is Dan the Waterman yet again. Honestly, John, you look and sound pretty good today. Well, thank you, man. That's very kind of you. You know, it's very rare that our sorts of types can get a compliment on these things. So thank you, bro. That means a lot to me. God bless you. Where is the lady? Tell her to speak. So, you guys want to? Oh my God. I'm gonna film you guys. Okay. So there's the ladies. I told them to speak, but they're like, you know. Oh my God. So let's see what else we got. Tinfoil Hatter. There she is. Yeah, yeah. That's my world of heart. You certainly know how to get most high. Oh, come on, man. You really can. I mean, that's funny, but nobody ever thought of that one, I'm sure. Um, no, I mean, when I say the most high, it's because I think when we use the word like God or Allah, there's connotations of the religions. And, you know, frankly, I don't really subscribe to religions. Religions are more of dogma, more of subscribing to a belief system and regurgitating that and convincing other people of your belief system. Um, you know, from where I stand, belief is a very it's of no consequence. What I believe or what people believe is just absolutely worthless. Now, what we can prove, that's a horse of a different color, man. You know, like an analogy that I use a lot, and I don't know if it really drives anything home with anybody but me, so I like it. You know, like a pool table is a plane. You know, it is flat. A pool table is flat. A pool ball is a sphere. And so, what you believe or not believe has nothing to do with weather. And so, in a very similar regard, it doesn't matter what I believe or what you believe about the Earth. It is either a plane or it is. Hello, ladies. Hi. It is either going to be a plane or it is going to be a sphere, right? Any sort of in between. It either is one or it is the other. And excuse me, I'm sitting here eating this dinner roll. Hey, Alan. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey guys, there's the hotel owner. He is very mad at me. He didn't want to be filmed, so I'll turn around. I'll be down to talk with you in just a little while, Alan. I'm sorry, I'm doing a live stream right now. Wow, the motel owner is on my butt for the rent. He's a very nice guy. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Alan, I'm sorry.